I'm Ed McCord. I'm the general manager of the mining truck business, covering the Caterpillar trucks, traditional trucks from the 785 through the 797, the unit rig trucks from 150 tons to 400, and the CAT autonomy project.
We're here at MINExpo, and this is obviously a time where people are introducing new products and services right now. Can you tell me what Caterpillar brought to the show?
In terms of trucks, I assume.
Trucks, please.
The most impressive element that we've brought to the show is actually not on exhibit, but it was an announcement of our new 320-ton unit rig MT5300. It fills a gap in the Caterpillar line and the unit rig line. That truck is on display at our proving grounds, but we weren't able to bring it here to the Las Vegas Convention Center. On the other hand, we do have our autonomy program here. That's perhaps the biggest non-truck news directly. We are running autonomous trucks in the U.S. now and have been since June of 2011. We will be running in Australia early in 2013. So that's probably the biggest news that we have truck-wise here at MINExpo.
What are the trends for autonomous trucks, and what are the trends for actually having a truck that doesn't even have a driver cage in it?
The trends for the application of autonomous truck is shifting from the notion of simply removing the driver from the truck and replacing the driver with an automated system to more of a process change on the mine sites, where we're now addressing the people issue, that is the removal of the driver from the cab. Second, the product issues. How do we enhance the product to take advantage of the lack of an operator? Third, most importantly, is the process side. What can autonomous technology do in a mine site to enhance productivity and the way material is mined, certain ways in which it might not be as mineable with drivers in the trucks. On the pure product side, our focus is still on taking a conventional truck, as we see here, and remove the driver and replace the driver with electronic hardware without changing the ability for a driver to use the truck if that's appropriate on a mine site. So the trucks are conventional trucks converted to autonomy. Longer term, the potential certainly exists to have a truck that is purely autonomous. That would allow us to do away with the cab and do away with all the compromises in a truck because of the need to protect the operator. ROP structure is a good example. The cab has to have a comprehensive rollover protection system. That drives a lot of compromise in frame design and truck layout. Of course, we do all that because we have to protect the operator. If there is no need for that, we can have a completely different strategy as far as the major structures of the machine, placement of components, access and egress, lighting, many other features that we put in a truck because of the driver we can change. Most of them we can remove, but a lot of things we can change if the truck is strictly autonomous.
What are the customers saying to you about autonomous mine sites, and specifically regarding the trucks as well too? What are their questions, and what are they looking for as a product regarding autonomy and driving an autonomous operation?
The very first thing that every customer talks to us is the subject of safety. It is absolutely essential that the autonomous mine be safer than a traditional mine with drivers. The number of levels of redundancy in an autonomous vehicle has to be higher than a traditional vehicle with a driver. The motivation, part of the motivation behind autonomous trucks is to enhance the safety of the mine site. But to do that without a driver in the cab, we have to make sure we have sufficient redundancies in the safety provisions of the entire system. That's the first topic of conversation. The second tends to be cost, and associated with cost is reliability. Don't forget, we're taking a traditional truck and adding some very sophisticated electronic technology, and therefore there is opportunity for faults. There's opportunity for lack of reliability. So we're working hard to assure that the combination of a traditional truck and a very sophisticated electronic system still give the reliability and availability that the customer expects.
Does a customer come to you and say, also, I could be more productive with something that's autonomous right now, or they have other motivations?
The initial motivation beyond safety is the infrastructure cost and the outright expense associated with having drivers. Western Australia is the biggest one, where to keep a truck running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it takes at least 4 operators, and the cost of an operator can be considerable. So by reducing that portion of the cost structure, autonomy is viewed as a major contributor. However, once we are able to sit down with the customer and really discuss what autonomy can do, the productivity aspect rises very, very quickly. In the end, the real savings associated with autonomy are related to productivity and utilization of the vehicle, and not the pure net savings of removing the operator, eliminating salaries, benefits, transportation costs, housing costs, and infrastructure associated with that.
What's the tire situation? We heard a lot about tires, I think, was it about a year ago or 2 years ago, where it was we were running out of tires, tire management. Where are we right now?
Well, the latest tire issue started perhaps 4 or 5 years ago. There was definitely a shortage at that time. In that period, we saw the emergence of a lot of new tire manufacturers, primarily with bias ply tires. We also saw the expansion of the traditional major tire suppliers, increasing their capacity for radial tires. When the market dropped in late 2008 and 2009, we saw a shift back towards radial tires. However, the new suppliers in the industry continued to work on development, and many of them now have radial product available. So we have had the benefit for the last 2 years, almost 3 years, of increased capacity from the traditional majors, plus the expansion of the emerging manufacturers who had bias ply tires and have ventured into radials. We've also had the much more rigorous control of haul roads. That we've seen that reflected in our large motor grader sales over the last 3 years. We've sold record numbers of our large motor graders. So we do see much better haul road maintenance, which helps to extend the life of tires. We've seen more capacity from the majors, traditional majors, and we've seen the emergence of new tire manufacturers. Thus, despite the great increase in the number of trucks going into the marketplace and the constantly growing population, the tire situation today, although tight, is much better than it was 4 years ago.
Thank you for your time, Ed. Have a good show.
You're very welcome. Thank you.